Have you ever wondered what really happens when the spirit leaves the body? This is one of humanity's greatest mysteries, and few dare to explore it deeply. However, there is a hidden truth that can completely transform your perception of life and death. In Buddhist teachings, there are profound and revealing answers that go beyond what most of us know. Get ready to discover a reality that could shake your beliefs and change your life forever. In this video, we will uncover what Buddhism truly teaches about the exact moment when the spirit separates from the body. Is it a rebirth, a passage to another dimension, or simply the end? You will learn about the concept of bardo, the intermediate state between life and death, and how this understanding can bring deep and lasting peace. Have you ever wondered if you are living in alignment with your true purpose? Imagine having access to knowledge that few people possess, knowledge that can help you live more consciously and fully. This video will guide you through the ancient and little-known secrets of Buddhist masters, which can reveal your spiritual path. If you've ever felt that there's something beyond our material understanding, that the cycle of life and death has a greater purpose, then you're in the right place. This is the moment to open your mind and allow new ideas to enter your life. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any more important revelations like this one. Consider becoming a member of the channel to receive exclusive content that delves even deeper into the understanding of spirit and mind. And comment below, "I am light, peace, and wisdom," to start attracting good energy and positive vibrations into your life. Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens when the spirit leaves the body? Most people see death as a definitive end, but in Buddhist teachings, it's just the beginning of a new and mysterious journey. What you are about to discover may challenge everything you think you know about life, death, and what comes after. Stay with us until the end of this video, because the answers may be more surprising than you imagine. Imagine for a moment that the life you know is just a small part of a much larger cycle. In Buddhism, this cycle is called samsara, the eternal cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. What does this really mean for you? It means that every choice you make, every thought and action, is shaping a path that goes far beyond this existence. This path defines what happens when your spirit finally leaves your physical body. Are you prepared to understand how your actions today impact your destiny tomorrow? But here's the real mystery. What happens at the exact moment when the spirit separates from the body? Buddhist teachings speak of a point of transition where the soul can enter a state of extraordinary clarity or total confusion. But what will your destiny be? Will you be ready for what comes next? There are descriptions of unknown realms, unique states of consciousness, and experiences beyond our everyday understanding. Can you imagine what it is like to perceive your own existence in such a deep and transformative way? Make no mistake, understanding what Buddhism teaches about death isn't just about the end of life, but about living in a way that brings deep meaning and purpose. If you're seeking a truth that goes beyond the surface, one that provides a new perspective on life and what comes next, you're in the right place. Don't go anywhere, because what you are about to discover may change everything. When the spirit separates from the body, what really happens? In Buddhism, this moment marks the beginning of a journey through a state known as transition, an intermediate period between the end of one life and the beginning of another. Imagine being between two worlds, no longer in the physical, but not yet reborn into a new one. This intermediate state is a place of great mystery and transformation. Here, the soul has the chance to perceive the profound truth of its existence. However, this experience can vary dramatically depending on the level of consciousness and the karma accumulated during life. It's a space where time and reality, as we know them, no longer exist. The experiences here are shaped by our own emotions, fears, desires, and merits. At the moment death occurs, the soul enters a phase of extreme clarity, often described as encountering a clear light. This light is not physical, but a manifestation of the true nature of the mind, a window to the infinite. Those who are spiritually prepared can recognize this light as an opportunity for liberation, a chance to break free from the cycle of birth and death and achieve the state of nirvana. However, most souls, disoriented by the sudden change, do not recognize this light. For them, this moment of clarity lasts only a few instants before consciousness begins to cloud again, plunging into a state of confusion. Many Buddhist masters explain that at this point, the spirit begins to cling to what is familiar, struggling against the unknown. During this transition, the spirit may experience a series of visions and encounters that reflect its mental and emotional state. Imagine being in a lucid dream where everything you see is created by your own mind. For some, these visions may be of peace and serenity, filled with luminous beings and sensations of deep love. For others, these experiences can become nightmares, with terrifying visions representing their own fears, attachments, and regrets. For example, a person who has lived a life of hatred or anger may see threatening figures or feel as if they are being chased by shadows. Meanwhile, someone who has cultivated kindness and compassion may encounter welcoming and radiant beings who seem to offer guidance. These experiences bear a striking resemblance to the accounts of people who have been in a deep coma. Many describe visions of bright lights or encounters with beings who seem to guide them. Take, for example, the case of a woman who entered a coma after a car accident. She reported seeing an intense and warm light, where she felt enveloped by a sense of peace she had never felt before. However, this peace was interrupted by disturbing visions of figures she described as guardians, who confronted her with memories and choices from her life. When she woke up, she interpreted these figures as representations of her conscience, judging her past actions. As the transition continues, the spirit may begin to encounter spiritual guides that appear to help. These guides are not external figures, but internal projections, spiritual masters, deceased relatives, or even beings of light who come to guide the soul. They play the role of helping the soul remember who it truly is and what it should do next. Those who are prepared can interact with these guides, receiving clear instructions on how to move forward. However, for those who are confused or fearful, these guides can be interpreted as threats, leading to an even more disoriented state. The key to navigating these experiences is a state of calm and acceptance. Resistance or fear can turn a potentially liberating experience into a frightening one. For those who remain disoriented, the journey in this state of transition can become a sequence of chaotic experiences. The spirit may go through a series of internal tests where every emotion, thought, and karma is confronted. These visions and tests are not punishments, but opportunities for the soul to understand itself and its past actions. Imagine being in an interactive movie where you are simultaneously the director, the actor, and the spectator. The decisions made during this phase are crucial, as they shape the path to the next rebirth. Each moment is an opportunity to choose between fear and wisdom, anger and compassion. Finally, the spirit enters the final phase of this transition, where it begins to feel an attraction to a new rebirth. Here, the karma accumulated during life plays a crucial role. Some Buddhist traditions describe this moment as a tunnel of light through which the spirit passes, leading to a new life. The spirit may see images of its future parents or the environment of its next life, feeling an instinctive attraction or aversion. For example, there are reports of people who had near-death experiences, saying they felt a powerful attraction or repulsion when they saw a place or family, as if they knew that would be their next destination. During this final phase of choice, the spirit must decide: move on to the next rebirth or seek a form of enlightenment that transcends the cycle of life and death. The choices made at this moment are influenced by the level of clarity and calm the spirit can maintain. If the spirit is prepared and at peace, it can choose wisely and continue its spiritual path. Otherwise, it may be drawn back into the cycles of existence, often returning to a state of forgetfulness where the same patterns of life and death repeat. This is why, according to Buddhism, spiritual preparation during life is so crucial. It can determine the entire experience after death. This journey through the state of transition reminds us that death is not the end, but rather a continuation, an opportunity to grow and evolve. The Buddhist teachings about this phase of existence are powerful reminders that our actions, intentions, and the state of our mind are fundamental. For those who seek to understand and prepare, there is a path of practice and wisdom that can make all the difference in crossing this intermediate state. In the next parts, we will explore how exactly we can prepare for this journey, keeping calm, clarity, and wisdom in our hearts. As the soul passes through the state of transition, it encounters a critical point, deciding between freeing itself from the cycle of life and death or moving on to a new rebirth. But what really determines where we go or what awaits us in the next life? This is where the concept of reincarnation and the powerful laws of karma come into play. In Buddhism, reincarnation is not a random process. It is guided by the seeds we plant throughout our lives. Every action, thought, and intention has a direct impact on what happens to us. When we cross the veil of death, karma in Buddhism is understood as the universal law of cause and effect. Unlike the popular view that karma is a form of punishment or reward, it is more about balance and consequence. Imagine you are constantly planting seeds, some good, some not so much. Each seed represents an action or intention of yours, and these seeds will sprout at some point, bringing results that correspond to what was planted. In the context of reincarnation, these seeds determine the form, circumstances, and even the realm of existence in which the spirit will be reborn. The spirit that left the body and entered the state of transition is now guided by these seeds of karma. Think of life as a vast field where we are all constantly sowing. The experiences in the state of transition are the harvest of what we planted during life. For example, a person who lived with anger and resentment may find a path of reincarnation in circumstances that reflect those feelings. Perhaps they are reborn in an environment of conflict or poverty, where these same feelings may be exacerbated. On the other hand, someone who lived a life of compassion and generosity may find a more auspicious reincarnation in an environment of peace and support. The stories of past lives and near-death experiences often reflect this logic of cause and effect. There are many accounts of people who, after experiencing near-death situations, returned with memories of past lives or feelings of déjà vu. One such story involves a man who, after a serious accident, fell into a coma. During that time, he had a series of intense visions of a completely different life. He saw himself as a farmer in a distant land, facing specific struggles and challenges. Upon waking, these visions remained vivid, and after researching, he discovered details that matched historical records. Was his mind accessing memories of a previous life guided by his karma? But reincarnation is not just about where or in what form you are reborn. It is also about the potential for spiritual evolution. In Buddhism, the ultimate goal is to achieve enlightenment, a state of liberation from the cycle of rebirths. Each life is a new opportunity to learn, grow, and purify the negative karma accumulated. A classic example of this can be found in the story of the Buddha, who went through countless lives, each full of challenges and learning, until he finally attained enlightenment. Each reincarnation was a chance to get closer to this state of liberation. However, reincarnation can also be seen as a challenge, especially for those who carry significant negative karma. When the spirit is not aware of its own patterns of thought and behavior, it can easily fall into the same cycles of suffering, life after life. Imagine, for example, a person who always experiences painful relationships or financial difficulties. Life after life. Without understanding the Buddhist teachings on karma, they may feel trapped and hopeless, not realizing they have the power to change their own trajectory. The big question that arises then is, how can we use this understanding of karma and reincarnation to change our current and future lives? Buddhism teaches that by cultivating qualities such as compassion, patience, and wisdom, and by engaging in spiritual practices like meditation and reflection, we can not only improve our present life, but also create favorable conditions for the future. The key is awareness, being mindful of our actions and intentions at every moment. This can be compared to becoming the conscious gardener of your own field of karma, choosing to plant seeds that will lead to peace, love, and liberation. By deeply understanding the laws of karma and the concept of reincarnation, we are essentially learning to better navigate the vast ocean of existence. With this knowledge, every choice becomes an opportunity to shape our destiny, both now and in future lives. This brings us to the next part of the video, where we will explore the spiritual practices that help prepare the mind and spirit to face these cycles of life and death with more clarity and purpose, and ultimately to attain enlightenment. After understanding the profound impact of karma and the cycle of reincarnation, a fundamental question arises. How can we better prepare for death and what comes after? In Buddhism, there are numerous spiritual practices that not only help us live a more conscious life, but also prepare the spirit to face the transition of death with peace and clarity. The key here is to transform our mind and heart, as the state of our mind at the moment of death will determine the experiences we will have in the state of transition and the type of rebirth we will have next. One of the most recommended practices is regular meditation, especially meditation on impermanence and death. While many people may find it uncomfortable to meditate on death, Buddhist masters emphasize the importance of diminishing fear and attachment. By contemplating the impermanence of all things, including our own body and existence, we can cultivate a mental state that accepts death as a natural part of the cycle of life. In this way, when the moment of transition arrives, the mind is less prone to panic or confusion. This practice allows the spirit to enter a state of clear light more easily, recognizing it as its true nature, rather than getting lost in visions of fear or disorientation. In addition to meditation, Another powerful practice is the use of mantras and prayers, which have the power to calm and focus the mind during life. The recitation of specific mantras, such as Om Mani Padme Hum, is believed to purify negative karma and accumulate spiritual merit. At the moment of death, these mantras can be used to keep the dying person's mind focused and connected to positive spiritual energies, facilitating a smoother transition through the intermediate state. There are stories of advanced practitioners who, by reciting mantras on their deathbed, experienced a profound sense of peace and mental clarity. This helped them recognize the clear light and move forward without fear. Buddhist masters also teach the importance of practicing kindness and compassion throughout life. These practices not only improve our karma and promote more favorable reincarnations, but they also condition the mind to react with calm and love during moments of uncertainty, such as at death. People who cultivate compassion benefit not only others, but also themselves, creating an inner foundation of peace that manifests strongly at the moment of their passing. An example of this can be found in the accounts of nurses who care for patients in palliative care. Those who have lived lives of generosity and compassion tend to have more serene and conscious transitions than those who have lived filled with anger or attachment. Another essential practice is the conscious preparation of the mind for the moment of death, known as phawa in Tibetan Buddhism. This practice involves the conscious visualization of transferring consciousness at the moment of death to a higher state or a pure land, away from the cycle of painful rebirths. The goal of phawa is to train the practitioner to, at the moment of death, direct their consciousness to a higher spiritual state. Those who master this practice can choose their next reincarnation, or even avoid the cycle of reincarnation altogether, attaining the state of nirvana. These spiritual practices not only prepare the spirit for death, but also provide a more meaningful and conscious life. They are tools for continuous spiritual growth, shaping not only who we are now, but also who we will become in future lives. This is exactly what we will explore in the next and final part of this video, a reflection on how we can practically apply these teachings in our daily lives to achieve a state of peace, both now and in the journey that follows. After exploring the complexities of death, reincarnation, and karma, it's natural that many people still feel some apprehension about the unknown. But the truth is, if you live with compassion, kindness, and a pure heart, there is no reason to fear death. In Buddhism, the end of one life is just a new beginning, an opportunity to continue learning, growing, and transforming into an increasingly enlightened being. And often, we return to be with those we love. Reincarnation is not a random or cruel process. It is deeply connected to love, experiences, and the bonds we build throughout our lives. It is common for souls to choose to return to the same families or environments where they feel love and comfort, or even where they believe they can continue learning and helping others. Think about it. The connections you have now, the loves, friendships, and even family challenges, all can be part of a continuous cycle of mutual growth and learning. So, death is not a farewell, but rather a see you soon on a path of evolution that never ceases. More than that, you have an active role in this process. You can, in fact, choose what your next life will be like and what challenges you will face. According to Buddhist teachings, this choice is not made consciously, like daily planning, but rather through the karma you accumulate and the intentions you hold in your heart. If you are going through difficulties now, such as illness, loss, or an emotional challenge, it is because, at some level, your soul knew you were capable of overcoming it. These challenges are not punishments. They are opportunities to learn, grow, and evolve spiritually. Believe it. If you are facing a problem, it's because you have the strength and wisdom to deal with it. Your soul, long before incarnating, already knew the challenges it would encounter and chose this journey to learn something valuable, develop a quality, or even help others grow. Every obstacle is a reminder that you are much stronger and wiser than you think. Instead of seeing these moments as a burden, view them as stages on your path to enlightenment. Therefore, do not fear death, for it is merely a transition to something your soul already knows and is prepared for. Trust in yourself and the journey your soul has chosen. Know that you have within you all the tools to face any challenge that comes your way. And when the time comes to make the transition, remember, you will only be returning home. Whether in a new form, a new place, or perhaps even back to the environment of love you have always known, life is a cycle, and each turn brings the chance to be a little better, to love a little more, and to get closer and closer to enlightenment. If you've made it this far, I hope this journey has given you a new perspective on life, death, and the spiritual purpose we all share. Remember, death is not the end, but a new beginning, and every challenge we face is an opportunity to evolve. If these teachings have brought you clarity, comfort, or even a new vision for your life, don't forget to show your support. Take the opportunity to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming content on spirituality, self-knowledge, and personal evolution. Each video is created with great care and intention to help you on your journey, and your support is crucial for us to continue bringing this content. If you want to dive even deeper into these topics and gain access to exclusive content such as guided meditations, special classes, and in-depth discussions on spiritual topics, consider becoming a channel member. It's a wonderful way to connect more closely with this community and continue your quest for wisdom and enlightenment. Before you go, feel free to share your reflections in the comments or offer a positive affirmation that you believe can help others grow spiritually. Together, let's build a space of support, learning, and inspiration. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.